Alright, today we're going to be talking about Cyber Smoke. Should you summon him right away, or is he skippable? Definitely watch until the end of this video because I show some of the files we data mined from the game that might significantly impact your decision. Diving right in, you need to know that Cyber Smoke is a support character, specifically a defensive support character. He provides things like debuff cleansing, incoming critical chance decrease, and special damage decrease. He does, however, also provide an attack boost to allies attacking the same target as him, and his special ability is actually a massive special meter drain from an enemy target, specifically an 80% special meter drain at ability level 7. I'll be showing you some low-level gameplay of this character so you can get a feel for how he functions, and then afterwards I'll explain why I haven't invested much into him yet. So basically there are two main things that make Cyber Smoke pretty undesirable right now. But one of those things, as you'll see a bit later in this video, is going to change and could very well result in Cyber Smoke becoming one of the most desirable meta-impacting characters in the entire game. The first thing working against this character right now is that he is a defense-oriented support. While it's a good idea to have at least one character providing defensive benefits to your team, especially against tougher content, ultimately the game is structured in a way that heavily leans toward rewarding you for pumping up your offense. Nearly every game mode incentivizes you to clear a stage as quickly as you can. So while Cyber Smoke does provide an attack boost to allies attacking the same target that he is, beyond that he isn't really contributing much to your team's offense, and this makes him less important to slot in when you could bring someone packing a lot more firepower, like Deadeye Aaron Black. Not to mention that even if your team urgently needs you to bring along a defensive support character, there are plenty of other strong body options, like Undying Shao Kahn and even base Kung Lao. So he's not particularly necessary for anything right now. But the other factor, and really the big factor, that really hurts Cyber Smoke's stock right now, is that the vast majority of his kit doesn't actually provide any support for his teammates, unless they have the Cyber Tag. His passive, Protocol Avoid, grants an incoming critical chance decrease to himself, but for each Cyber teammate, that boost becomes stronger and he also grants it to them. His other passive, Protocol Cleanse, basically spawns a drone that waits on standby to remove any debuffs that he receives. And if you have his combo, it also removes 10% special meter from the enemy who casts the debuff. However, he also provides the same protection for each Cyber teammate. His special, Download, siphons a large amount of special meter from an enemy and converts it into a special damage decrease buff, making himself incredibly tanky for a short duration. However, as I'm sure you've guessed, on a Cyber team, Smoke will split this special damage decrease across all Cyber teammates. So to recap, outside of his auto ability, which is a nice attack boost to select allies, 3 of his 4 abilities only really benefit himself, which is a terrible quality in a support, and making him a particularly bad 5-star right now. However, when surrounded by Cyber teammates, he suddenly becomes an all-star support, providing a significant amount of protection for his entire team. So the obvious question to ask then is, how good is the Cyber team? Well, right now they kinda suck. Though we have good reason to believe that that will change, which I'll get into in just a bit. But for right now, there are only 3 Cyber characters actually in the game: Cyber Smoke, Cyrax, and Overload Cyber Lin Kuei. Now the Cliff Notes version of Cyrax's kit is that he is a bruiser, meaning he has tank stats but abilities designed around dealing damage. Like Cyber Smoke, Cyrax also gets a significant performance boost when surrounded by Cyber allies, including both a crit chance and crit damage boost. So in reality, Cyber Smoke and Cyrax make an alright duo. The problem is that the only other member of the Cyber team is Overload Cyber Lin Kuei, who is, for lack of a better term, a trash minion. So, to sum up, right now Cyber Smoke is a defensive support who mainly just protects himself. Possibly one other character that you probably don't own, at least as of this recording. So obviously this makes him pretty skippable. So what was I on about earlier when I mentioned a Datamined discovery that could indicate Cyber Smoke has a future as an incredibly impactful character? Well, you can actually find a clue by looking at Overload Cyber Lin Kuei's auto ability, Chip Damage. You'll notice that it does additional damage if the target enemy is frozen. Rather interesting, considering neither Cyber Smoke nor Cyrax have the ability to freeze an enemy. which means this ability is referring to a cyber ally that hasn't been released yet, or even announced for that matter. Well, as it turns out, we actually found files pertaining to 2 more cyber characters, specifically Sector and Cyber Sub-Zero. So the trend for this team seems to be that each member gets significantly stronger when surrounded by other cyber allies. This means we could be looking at an upcoming full team of 5-star characters who all get massive boosts when fighting alongside each other. Now, we have no information on how good Sector or Cyber Sub-Zero will be, or even that they're for sure going to get released, nor do we even know for sure that if they did get released that either of them will even be a 5-star character, but it's not crazy to suggest that the Cyber team could very well become the most dominant team in the game when fully assembled. All I can do is speak to the here and now, and right now, Cyber Smoke will not significantly improve your performance over other, easier to acquire characters, so as of today, I have to say that he's a skip. However, I also have to acknowledge that he absolutely has the potential to be a core member of a completely dominant team in the future, and it's entirely possible that you might look back and wish you'd grabbed him when you had the chance. I wish I could give you a more definitive answer, but this is all we know for now. So what do you guys think? Are you guys planning to skip Cyber Smoke, or will you grab him in the hopes that it one day pays off? Let me know in the comments. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Please be sure to like, subscribe, blah 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 YouTuber stuff, and I will see you guys real soon. Until next time. Peace!